Yo, good evening, USA, Canada, worldwide, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, the misunderstood lonely nomad, YouTuber, creator, host with the most, the un- the unstoppable independent podcaster and rookie podcaster of Queens, New York. And you're rocking with Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast, episode 149, live and direct from StreamYard, YouTube, and alongside of myself is the Instagram live feed. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss me in action on the Instagram live feed. Um, so there you go, right there. For those that's new that don't know what this show is about, it is the unfiltered comedy entertainment show about the various topics in entertainment news. There's music news, there's real life stuff, which includes mental health, which includes mass transit, and all the other all the other stuff, whatsoever. And in this show, it consists of segments such as chatting on the jazz. We have black owned transit shout outs. There's New York Mass Transit Files. There's of course the news segment that I just dropped in episode 148 remains to be seen. It's basically a segment about the particular stories that I previously talked about, and I'm going to give you some updates behind those stories and stuff. And of course some new ones whatsoever. So and for and of course mental health check-in, like I said, um that's one of the segments that I'm going to be doing right now. And of course, there's stream choices on the go, podcast free game mechanisms, and so much more. So there you go, right there. Um, yeah, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I'm gonna cut to the chase to um mental check-in for a sec. Shall we? All right. How I'm doing mentally, physically, and spiritually, you ask. For me, mentally, physically, and spiritually, I ain't doing all right for the most part. Still celebrating the the 2K plays off of Anchor.fm. In case certain people don't know what I'm talking about, um, this New York podcast show right here has made it to 2K plays. As I mentioned in episode 145, I'm mentioning it here right now. I did post about it on Instagram, and you know, I'm just soaking the success like a wet sponge. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's pretty it's pretty dope that I made it this far though. And now you know what though, man? Look, as I said before, and I addressed this in my other podcast, my other show, Meticulous Values podcast. Man, fuck fame, man. Like I don't really care about I don't really care so much about fame. The only thing I care about is focusing on drinking the potion that has success in it. That's gonna get me emotion. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on 15 minutes of fame, and I'm not really worried about the X amount of followers that's following me on social media because number one, um, you can't let that define you. The X amount of followers don't define a person, and it doesn't navigate who the person is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular man. I'm a regular man from Queens, New York. That's not a celebrity, and that's a good thing. You know why? because being a celebrity, being famous, it's not all cracked up to be. You can't please everybody. You can't babysit everybody by being a role model because you're not going to be able to get to everybody. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody as far as anything. And as far as like I don't know, as far as the meet and greets and stuff, I'm not too sure when I'm going to actually do that. So that's gonna be on the back burner for a while. So there you go, right there. Um, so I want to remind everybody, um, as we get into this show right here in episode 149, titled "Street Easy," you want to make sure you reach out to your loved ones, like your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, and your friends, and of course the people that you are cool with from work. And as far as careers go, because those individuals might be fine on the outside, but on the inside they are not. It's all about following your mind, your soul, your your heart, and your instincts. If you sense something's wrong with a person on the inside of what they're going through, maybe they might need some company. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes certain people don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? So, and despite the fact that, we can't shake hands and hug one another and stuff like that, despite the slamdemic, the fucking slamdemic, for instance, I mean, there's other ways in forms of communication. You know what I'm saying? It's not just face to face. Um, you know, and as I previously talked about recently, this has to do with the fact that I've been going through um a lot since the slamdemic started. This slamdemic took a toll out of me, mentally, physically, and spiritually. For the simple fact that we're physically distancing from one another. To me, that shit is not normal. That shit is not normal to me. Hell, I don't even know what fucking normal is. You know what I'm saying? And this new normal shit, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But I know there's gonna be so many surprises and stuff to come. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get into our first topic in the mental health check-in segment. I do have a topic that I want to talk about today in regards to the most common thing that I've been hearing about, which is postpartum depression. Here we go. All right. And this is according to activebeat.com. So, for those of you who may not know what postpartum depression is, the postpartum depression affects as many as 1 in 4 mothers in North America. It's often confused with the baby blues, the emotional lows that come with the massive hormonal changes taking place in your body during and after pregnancy, and leaving you fatigued, miserable, weepy, and irritable. However, with the lows of new motherhood also comes highs to balance out the sleepless nights, baby weight, fear, and sore breast. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the Aisha Curry story. Um, the symptoms of postpartum depression are more intense and impactful than the baby blues, occurring over a long period and often hindering your ability to take care for your baby and yourself. Um, Number one, negative feelings. Postpartum depression is characterized by a host of negative feelings such as depression, irritability, guilt, misery, self-consciousness, and hopelessness. It differs from the normal postpartum blues as it is long-lasting and worsens over time, and with new moms being able to focus on the joys and positivity associated with motherhood. Um, okay. Number two, anxiousness is often a lingering aspect to double PD, and is particularly noticeable in women who aren't often bothered by things. For instance, you may experience unexplained concern about your baby's health or your health, or worry about things that you have no control over. Um, so yeah, wait a minute. Let's wait. That's crazy, man. There has to be more to this story. I don't think there's more to this story, but I suppose I think. All right, so okay, some negative feelings. I already did that part. Let's see. Hold on a second. I know something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. I'm sorry. Um, okay, anxiousness. Hmm. Okay, I need to find some more information. Just bear with me. Hold on one second. Um, okay. Wait, this 10 signs? Wait a second. Hmm, just a second. All right, let me get more information about this. Um, Let me get more information about this shit. All right, so this is basically all right. So postpartum pressures affect every new parent. Together with postpartum support international, we're raising awareness about the emotional changes that women can experience during postpartum. Um, what is this? Anyway, understanding postpartum pressures. No two births are the same, and no two moms have the same experience or emotions postpartum. When you are juggling the needs of your little one, worrying about what to expect postpartum, as well as recovering from birth and adjusting to some huge changes in lifestyle, it's easy to understand why expectations from the outside world can feel overwhelming. Our record research shows that 85% of first-time moms agree that the first year of postpartum motherhood is nothing like what they see on social media, because it makes parenting look easy. 59% of moms said they don't feel society allows them to share how hard the first year of postpartum motherhood truly is. Finding help. Of course, our partner Postpartum Support International is on a mission to promote postpartum awareness, prevention, and treatment of maternal mental health issues. Since its funding, um, PSI's vision be- has been to establish a postpartum pressure support network in every community worldwide. With their emergency helpline, online support groups, and loss and grief resources, they are dedicated to helping families suffering from postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. We're working to double the number of women that get help by growing the online support group to double the number of helpline contacts in 2023. Sharing your story, 63% of moms and 42% of first time expecting mothers say they have posted content about motherhood where they look happy but don't feel that way. We're committed to changing the narrative about parents' postpartum experiences and empowering moms to share just hashtag one real pressure on social media this Mother's Day. We we want to share. We want this call to action to empower moms to talk about the real experiences they face during um their own postpartum journeys. Um, of course, obviously, if you want to take part and help show other moms that they are not alone, share a video or photo of your hashtag one real pressure on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, and don't forget to tag us. You can help us show a more truthful view of postpartum life by sharing your hashtag one real pressure and encouraging others to do the same. We can help new and expectant mothers feel more prepared when facing the pressures of early motherhood and feel empowered to seek the support they need. Together, we can make a difference. If you're struggling, you are not alone. Don't just ask Google. Talk to other mothers. Discover Postpartum Support International and find the community you need. Conducted in partnership with the UNC School of Medicine's fourth trimester project. All right. Of course, obviously, a group of moms already did their videos. So anyway, um, let's get to I want to get to let's get to the what's the all right, let's get into a little bit of transit news right here that I like to call the New York Mass Transit Files. Let's do this. Okay. Um, hang on a second. Hold on. Okay, we're going to get into this main story pertaining to NYC. All right, so all right, here's what we have here in transit news. So New York City is putting the green in its greenways. Mayor Eric Adams wants to embark 47.6, yes, $47.6 million in the upcoming city budget for shared bike and pedestrian paths, also known as greenways. A senior official from his administration announced Thursday. The funding will add up to 20 miles to the city's existing 150-mile greenway network, starting with two projects along Brooklyn's southwest shoreline and in central um, Queens, said Deputy Mayor for Operations Mira Joshi at a conference on May 5th. These are our city's connectors, Joshi said during the NYC Greenway Summit at the Center for Architecture in Greenwich Village. The funding is to make sure that we're building out new greenways and that we're beautifying and maintaining the existing greenways. The city will use the money to fill in the gaps of the greenway between um, Leif Erikson Park in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, down along the Shore Parkway to Coney Island, and from Flushing Meadows to Fort Totem Park in Bayside, Queens. Um, the funds will go to the Parks Department, which has oversight of a lot of the city's greenways that run through its green spaces, and to the Department of Transportation, which is in charge of street work. Joshi stood in for Adams for the announcement, who was scheduled to speak at the event hosted by the nonprofit Brooklyn Greenway Initiative, but his Zona had to cancel because he was stuck in California after a return flight from a reported fundraising trip to the Golden State was canceled. The goal of the new scheme is to add about 20 miles of new greenway across the five boroughs, while also improving existing stretches that have fallen into disrepair. But the mayor's office did not give a timeline for when the upgrades will be implemented. The first two projects were inspired by a Parks and DOT study released earlier this year, dubbed Destination Greenways, which looked at gaps in the networks of Brooklyn and Queens. Um, the city originally looked at also building out the Greenway network in the Bronx along the Harlem River, but officials decided it was too complicated for the time being because it required multiple ac- acquisitions along the way to create a contiguous path. During the following panel discussion of city agency heads at Thursday's event, Parks Commissioner Susan Donahue said when asked about the Bronx plans that they haven't forgotten about the northernmost borough, but that they'll need more time and money. We realize that there needs to be more funding and more work done in planning for expanding the greenway in that area, Donahue said. There are complications, no doubt, but we're not going to let that hold us back. And we are interested in going forward, absolutely, with further visioning for the Bronx. Yeah, um, that's pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool, man. Um, that's pretty cool. And I think it makes it a lot easier for um people who ride bikes who need a spot to actually ride bikes and of course to walk too, which is pretty cool, man. So so that's pretty awesome right there, man. Okay, now we're gonna go to all right, we're gonna go into chatting on the jazz real quick. um yeah, we're gonna go into chatting on the jazz right now. So um it is. And this is pertaining to an 11-year-old girl. All right. So, Longwood, Bronx. So, an 11-year-old girl is dead after she was shot in the stomach by a gunman riding a scooter in the Bronx Monday night. The girl, an innocent bystander who was A half block away when the gunfire erupted is identified as 11-year-old Kaihara Tay of the Bronx. That's crazy, man. The incident happened just before 5 p.m. in front of 995 Westchester Avenue in Longwood section. NYPD officials say a man was being chased by two suspects riding a scooter headed from Fox Avenue to Westchester Avenue towards 165th Street. Oh boy. The man then attempted to enter 1015 Fox Street, causing the scooter to pass him. That's when police say he began running in the opposite direction. The passenger on the scooter then fired shots at the man, and one of the bullets struck Tay in the abdomen, approximately a half block away on Fox Street. She was struck on the sidewalk and went into a nearby nail salon for help, where Lillian Johnson and Maya Jones were inside. You can't just move on from seeing something like that, Johnson said. She just kept saying, ow, and holding her stomach. Um, We didn't know where it was, Jones added. We didn't know it if it was like her leg or her chest until we zipped down and we saw the wound on her stomach. And then she ended up passing out on the floor. EMT Paulette Soto responded to the scene. That's when we found out she was a child, Soto said. It's gut wrenching, especially in the South Bronx where I grew up. Um, Tay was rushed to the to Lincoln Hospital where she died late Monday night. She's 11, Jones said. Kids got a future and stuff like that. It makes no sense to me. It's traumatizing because it could be anyone. It could be anyone. Councilman Raphael Salamanca, who represents District 17, which includes Longwood, visited Tay's family Tuesday morning. I want the shooter caught. Tay's father told Salamanca, I want justice. Grief counselors are at Bronx Academy for Multimedia, where Tay was a sixth grade student, as classmates mourn the loss of a friend. Um, Neighbors who stopped by Tuesday to say a prayer for Tay's family um, said they are thinking of the children in the neighborhood. In some cases, their own children, knowing it could have been any of them. I blame illegal guns, the ghost guns, neighbor Diane Whittington said. You can make those. I blame the courts for letting out people who have violent crimes against them. Shamika Morris says she heard about Monday's tragedy from her 13-year-old son. We are losing them much too soon, and more needs to be done to protect them, she said. And he doesn't know why this is happening. And as a parent, it's my responsibility to explain these things to him. But I also don't have the answers. Police have released surveillance video capturing the shooting and individuals for whom they are searching. This is very, very difficult for us to accept. NYPD Deputy Chief Timothy McCormick said, in quote, this is the second child that's shot in this borough this year, an 11-month-old and now an 11-year-old. Of course, obviously, anyone with information is urged to call the NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-577-TIPS, or for Spanish, 1-888-557-PISTA, which is 74782. You can also submit tips by visiting the Crime Stoppers website at crimestoppers.nypdonline.org. or by messaging on the Twitter sphere at NYPD tips. All right, we got another tragic incident. We got another tragic incident right here, and this one right here is this has happened recently. This is according to a Bronx teen that was indicted. Hold on a second. A Bronx teen was indicted on Tuesday for this fatal shooting of a 16-year-old girl who was caught in the crossfire of a gunfight while walking home from school last month. Jeremiah Ryan, age 17, pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and related charges in the death um of Angel Yambo near University Prep Charter High School on April 8th, according to prosecutors. Um, Ryan was also charged with assault and weapons possession crimes for wounding two other 17-year-old teens who were also struck by the stray bullets, the Bronx District Attorney's Office said. Ryan, who allegedly carried out the crime using a ghost gun, an untraceable gun assembled from parts bought online, opened fire after getting into a confrontation with a group of reputed gang members. On Friday afternoon, the defendant allegedly fired multiple shots and fatally struck Angel Yambo near her high school, DA Darcel Clark said in a statement, end quote. The shooting also left two 17-year-old high school students wounded and a community devastated and traumatized. We mourn the death of this promising young woman and pray for the two teens who survived, Clark said. Um, um, Okay, a judge last month ruled out that Ryan should be tried in Supreme Court rather than in family court, ensuring he faces a heavier penalty than he would have as a juvenile. As an adolescent defendant, he still faces a more lenient sentence of up to 15 years in prison. If convicted rather than 25 years to life, he would have faced as an adult. Ryan's criminal defense lawyer, Devereaux Canick, said he's received a significant amount of information in the case. We will now begin the process of examining and studying evidence to see what's there and where it takes us, the lawyer said, declining to comment further. Damn. Yeah, this really sucks, man. That's all I gotta say right there, man. I don't have anything else to say on this one. So anyway, um I don't have anything else to say on that one, so I can't really say no more. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, which has to do. Oh, we gotta talk about the machete wielding man with two knives. Yes, we gotta talk about that. Let's get all the terrible stories out the way before I get into the other shit. Um, so um, let's get into this, man, because this is very, very, very strange to me and kind of crazy at the same time. Um, so this is according to um NewYork1.com. So, and this took place in Brooklyn, New York. An NYPD officer shot and injured a knife wielding man after he charged a group of officers in Brooklyn on Thursday, and one officer's hand was cut in the struggle that ensued, authorities said. Richard Paris, age 57, has since been charged with assault on an officer, attempted assault, menacing a police officer, and criminal possession of a weapon in connection with the incident, police said. Authorities said the situation began as an officer was walking on West 8th Street between Neptune and Surf Avenues around 12:55 p.m. and spotted Paris wearing thick red gloves, standing next to an SUV and blocking traffic on the street. NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell said at a news conference. The officer began to approach Paris when he noticed he was also armed with two knives, one of which was 16 inches long, Sewell said. After noticing the officer, Paris rushed toward him with one knife raised, so the officer backed away, and Commissioner said. When a few other officers arrived at the scene and told Paris to drop the knives, he continued to charge at them, Sewell said. One of the officers then fired four shots, hitting the suspect's leg and shoulder. Paris continued to fight after he fell down, leading on an intense, prolonged struggle during which one officer's hand was cut, the commissioner said. After officers arrested Paris, he was taken to NYU Langone Hospital, Brooklyn, with non-life-threatening injuries, Sewell said. The injured officer, identified as John Favale, was taken to NYC Health and Hospitals, Coney Island, and released Thursday afternoon. It wasn't immediately clear what the man's motive was, Sewell said. An investigation is ongoing. This is Yeah, I want to get to some lighter stuff, man. I don't want to be on some depressing shit all day long, man. I do want to talk about a few things actually. So let's get into and this was brought up to me not too long ago. Um um while I was watching one of the episodes of TMZ Hip Hop, right? And this was pertaining to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, hold on. Let's get into this. So, after Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation leaders visited Cleveland in July 1985, they were very impressed with the city's rock roots. But rather than picking Cleveland right away, they decided to hold a national competition to pick the location. The race to land the Rock Hall was on. In 1979, the year that Ian Hunter released Cleveland Rocks, the Wall Street Journal proclaimed Cleveland the nation's rock and roll capital. The city had earned this reputation through the influence of WJW disc jockey Alan Freed, record rendezvous owner Leo Mintz, jukebox supplier, and later Agora Theater operator Hank Locanti in breaking emerging talent. Wait a minute. I didn't I didn't know that Cleveland Rocks was basically the theme song to the Drew Carey song. So I heard it a couple times. Ian Hunter. Um it didn't hurt that downtown Cleveland also housed many of the leading record companies' warehouses, which supplied a seemingly insatiable um, demand for rock among Cleveland youth. Despite the city's strong reputation as a rock and roll town in the 1970s, Cleveland was suffering a dismal decade economically. At a time when Cleveland had become the butt of jokes on national television, a few could have imagined the city's landing one of the world's most iconic shrines to rock and roll. The idea for a rock and roll Hall of Fame was conceived by Atlantic Records founder and R&B producer Ahmet Artagun. Artagun and other music industry luminaries formed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation in 1983 in hopes of creating a permanent shrine to rock music. The foundation planned to locate the new facility in Manhattan, close to the heart of the recording industry, and at first, few outsiders had any inkling of the plan. In Cleveland, Agora Theater owner Hank LeConte and his friends separately envisioned a museum to honor the city's seminal role in popularizing rock music, particularly local disc jockey Alan Freed's coining of the term rock and roll and hosting the first rock concert, and Moondog Moondog um Coronation Ball in 1952. Um, through Norm and Knight, a Cleveland native with close ties to New York's music scene, LeConte learned of the foundation's plan for a rock and roll shrine. Knight agreed to present Cleveland to Artagun as an alternative site for the Rock Hall. Knight opened the door for a contingent of Cleveland boosters to present their case to the foundation, armed with letters of support from Cleveland's leading cultural institutions. The group highlighted Cleveland's claim as the creator of rock, including Freed, and the Moondog Coronation Ball, the role of LeConte's Agora and radio station WMMS in breaking new talent, um, and longtime music businesses like Record Rendezvous and Record Revolution, as well as the fact that a rock hall would be a singular tourist attraction in Cleveland, but only one among many competing points of interest in Manhattan. After a July 1985 visit to Cleveland by foundation leaders, the foundation decided to hold a national competition to host the venue. The race to land the Rock Hall was on, with Cleveland, Memphis, New York, San Francisco, New Orleans, and Philadelphia as leading contenders. All cities vying for the Rock Hall pointed to the star power behind their prospective, no, excuse me, respective bids. San Francisco used Jefferson Starship's hit "We Built This City" as a theme song for its bid. Cleveland claimed support from Michael Jackson, the Kinks, and some 50 other musicians. As the selection process progressed, the choice narrowed to Chicago, Philadelphia, and Cleveland. Spurred by WMMS, 120,000 listeners voted for Cleveland as the Rock Hall site in a USA Today poll. Then Cleveland backers gathered 600,000 signatures on a petition that the Greater Cleveland Growth Association presented to the foundation in New York. They banked on more than just the city's preeminent historical stake in the genre, turning to the city and state governments and local foundations, which collectively raised $26 million to lure the Rock Hall. Give me 1 second, folks. All right. Okay, thanks largely to these efforts, the foundation selected Cleveland in May 1986. Once Cleveland got the nod, attentions turned to a site. Early prospective locations for the Rock Hall included the Lakefront Public Square, the Flats Playhouse Square, the mall, and a couple of sites along Huron Road behind the Terminal Tower. Ruling out the adaptive reuse of an old building, Rock Hall officials opted for a signature building at the urging of architect, um, I am I am Pi, um, whom the foundation retained to design the hall, despite his public admission that he knew little about rock music. The foundation selected Tower City as the preferred site. Pi's original design included an 18-story glass tower overlooking the um, 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 Kuya, Cuyahoga River, with a concourse connecting to the Tower City Center complex. Relations between Cleveland and New York sourced by 1989, notably when the foundation announced it would keep induction ceremonies in Manhattan rather than moving them to Rock, Rock Hall. In addition, Clevelanders' tax dollars would be required, thus diverting millions of dollars away from the city's school system, a stark contrast to what a plain dealer editorial called a rock and roll industry, grown fat on its successes. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's construction cost ballooned to $100 million, 4 times the original budget. When a record store opened inside Tower City in 1990, Rock Hall officials became angry and began to look at other sites besides Huron Road, which they now claim was too small to permit construction. Um, After several anxious months, a new site was chosen on city owned land at North Coast Harbor. With the new location came a reduction in height. Pi's glass tower was too tall to place so near Burke Lakefront Airport. Instead, a shorter tower and glass pyramids design emerged, evoking the slanted glass wall of his um Louvre design. The Rock Hall opened in September 1995. While Cleveland civic leaders rightly lauded the Rock Hall as a coup for the city's image and economy, many musicians and fans were ambivalent. Valent. A few were outright hostile to the very idea of a museum for rock and roll. In contrast to the music industry leaders who saw the Rock Hall as a means to foster mainstream appreciation for rock and roll's cultural impact, many saw irony in the formal enshrinement of rock and roll, an art form often associated with rebellion and counterculture. As one reporter observed of the first induction ceremony in New York in the 1980s, once the sole property um, of gifted wild men who shocked America with their three chord songs, rock and roll is now so middle class it was accorded a most civilized honor. It was given a dinner. So that is why the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame exists. That is why. And this is from clevelandhistorical.org. Now we're gonna go to our next subject right here. Um Now hold on a second here. Broken traditions, man, my man. And happy belated 43rd birthday, man. I hope you had some fun and had a blast. um anyway, our next subject has to do with something I've seen on the buses lately, and this has to do with Street Easy. And I'm going to fill you in what Street Easy is and how this shit works though. So here it is. And this is from bloomingsky.com. So you've probably seen the ads on the subway, on bus stations, or on top of a cab whizzing by as you hustle across the street on a red light. The call to action is quite simply brilliant. Find your place. Street Easy is New York City's premier real estate listing platform, both for rentals and sales. In 2013, Street Easy was purchased by Zillow, which immediately began investing money into optimizing its web interface and spending marketing dollars on creating awareness to drive consumer traffic. Um, of course, you can actually check out some of Street Easy's most iconic ad campaigns executed by the creative agency Office of Baby. How do you use Street Easy, you ask? If you are looking for a new apartment, multifamily, or townhouse in New York City, Street Street Easy puts the power of search and discovery up to your fingertips. Buying, simply input the following fields into the search bar. Of course, you have neighborhood, building, address, minimum price, maximum price, number of bedrooms. You also opt to conduct a more advanced search by clicking the link titled um, additional options. So, additional selections that become available at this point include property type, of course, includes condo, co-op, multifamily, etc. Bathrooms, status, square feet, open house, custom boundary, listing amenities, description, pre-war, new development, maintenance, taxes, school zoning, zip, nearby transit lines. Once you make your selections, you'll be provided with sales listings that best match your criteria. You can then individually evaluate each of the building, no, excuse me, the listings by clicking on them, where you'll be further exposed to information relevant to the respective property. Who lists on Street Easy? There are two groups of people who post on Street Easy: listing brokers posting on Street Easy. These are professionals who have sales exclusives to sell properties. They are allowed to market the property across the internet, and Street Easy will be one of their primary listing resources, since many buyers have been driven to look for properties on the website. Brokers are becoming increasingly more dependent on this platform to help their exclusives get maximum visibility. For sale by owner, owners can also directly list on Street Easy and post their own listing. Some owners may choose to do this in an effort to circumvent any broker fees associated with listing workers. How do you contact an agent on Street Easy? If you are interested in learning more about the property, you may be tempted to input information on the Learn More section located to next listing. It is important to note that your contact details will not actually be going to the listing broker, but rather will be sold in the form of a lead to a buyer's agent. Agents are sold leads via Zillow's Premier Agent Network, which allows agents to buy leads in specific zip codes. These agents will receive incoming leads via phone or email and then will contact respective leads. We strongly recommend that you work with a broker who represents you on the purchase of your property, as it is of great benefit to you and does not cost you anything. Learn more about properties. It's essential that you work with a broker that you actually want to work with and that you can trust, as opposed to someone who is just paying for your lead. If you are considering buying a property in NYC and would like to use Street Easy as a tool to search for listings, we would be happy to assist and discuss all the details about working with a buyer's broker on the purchase of your property. We pride ourselves in representing your interest from the initial property search all the way through closing. We have personal experience in buying and selling our owned properties and have served dozens of clients with who we work closely and develop lasting relationships. Street Easy is a powerful tool. When you use the power of the Street Easy platform and blend it with the insights of a buyer's broker, you will set yourself up for success. Don't hesitate to reach out for more information. And of course, yeah. And of course, you could go to their website. I'm gonna pull it up. You could go to their website, right? Hold on a second. Yeah, you could go to their website, which is what is it? Um, yeah, you can check out their website. I believe it's yeah, it's streeteasy.com. Yeah, www.streeteasy.com. So you can check out some stuff, some houses, and all that other good stuff. So there you go, right there, and that's Street Easy for you, right there, folks. Um, all right. Now we're gonna go to All right, we're gonna go to yeah, let's go to Kendrick Lamar. Now, I did see his music video. Um, five. No, I did see his music video, the heart, part 5. And this is from Variety, and popular on Variety. Kendrick Lamar's video for his latest single, "The Heart Part 5," is a stunning feature of deep fake technology where the rapper's face morphs seamlessly into those of Kobe Bryant, OJ Simpson. Whoa. OJ Simpson? Really? Really? OJ Simpson out of all people? Come on. Yeah. Jussie Smollett, Kanye West, Nipsey Hussle, late great Nipsey Hussle, and Will Smith. It's certainly not without precedent. Created by Lamar and collaborated Dave Free with their PG Lang studio. The deepfake technology is the work of South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone's Deep Voodoo Studios. Whoa, which used it for their eye-popping 2020 Sassy Justice video, and similar tax tactics were used for Michael Jackson's 1981 for Black or White, and going back even further in 1985 for recording artists, pioneering directors Kevin Godley and Lil Cream for their song "Cry." Um, with the Heart Part 5, the video for Cry consists entirely um of faces blending seamlessly from one to another. And although the technology was radically different and less geared towards specific social commentary, the emotional power and mesmerizing potency of the human face as a tool to engage or enrage has not diminished. Godley and Cream started off as co-founders of the 1970s group 10 Double C, um, before working as a duo as musicians and pioneering video directors with Duran's Girls on Film, Herbie Hancock's Rocket, and Huey Lewis and the News, hip to be square to their credit. Godley recently published an autobiography, Space Cake. Oh shit. Released his solo debut on Muscle Memory and just dropped an album of his pre 10 double C work with Fragile Days 1967 to talk about all the above. Um Kevin Godley, LOL, and I knew we needed a particular visual to make Cry come to life, but those faces weren't the original idea that we'd come up with. We weren't keen on appearing in it and wanted popular British ice skaters Torville and Dean to perform to it. We couldn't get our diaries to match up, so we needed something quick. We figured that since Cry was the type of song anyone wait would be the type of song anyone could understand um and sing. We get a lot of different people and shoot close-ups of their faces. We would figure how to assemble that when we got to the editing stage. In 1980, okay. What does that have to do? Yeah, this is wait a second here. Um yeah. Um this is what I feel about the whole hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. I need to really yeah, I'm gonna get into this actually. So this is um yeah. All right, 6 days ago. All right. So there's more I wanted to actually get to. So of course, um Jezebel.com. Yes to this creative manifesto, Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 5. Kendrick Lamar proves again why he's one of the most prolific artists of his generation with the provocative hit single, The Heart Part 5, which he released to promote his highly anticipated new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The single's innovative music video uses deepfake technology to morph the LA bred rapper into the likeliness of Kobe Bryant, late great Nipsey Hussle, Jussie Smollett, Kanye West, and Will Smith, among others. Aside from aside from the deliciously freaky aspects of watching Lamar shapeshift in real time, the lyrics speak to each of their individual stories. A detail most obvious when he delivers a verse that begins with friends bipolar as he morphs into Kanye West. The music video begins with a quote from Oklahoma, Oklahoma. I am all of us, and the rest is just pure heart. Is Zine Yukoha. Gag worthy, but a good enough time. Lady Gaga, hold my hand. At this point, there isn't anyone unaware of Lady Gaga's particular prowess with a power ballad, and yet the pop icon just keep outdoing herself. Hold My Hand, written for the heavily anticipated Top Gun sequel, is a tender read, aggressively cringe, devotional, and full throated demand. Verses include lyrics like, but if you decide to, I'll ride in this life with you. I won't let go till the end. And I know you are scared and your pain is imperfect, but don't you give up on yourself. Add in the visuals of Gaga writing on a baby grand piano that's for some reason is smack dab in the middle of a tarmac, while an actual fighter jet whizzes ahead overhead, and it's inevitable that this track will forever be counted amongst the corny canon greats. Audra Heinrich. Okay, I co-sign these vibes. Um, Likey Lakaylee 47 LL Cool J. Lakaylee 47 is back with her third album. Blah blah blah. I don't even want to read all this, man. So this is just I only want to read all this, man. So this is how I feel about the Kendrick Lamar video, man. I think he's more of a genius. He's more of a genius than Kanye West. And I say this because creatively speaking, um let me just put myself on here. When I was watching the video in Video Music Box this past Saturday, now, mind you, this was basically creatively lit. And I say he's more of a genius than Kanye West because creatively speaking, like, you know, since this album already came out, I'm gonna see if I could listen to it, see see what the buzz is all about. And yeah, I'll probably do that review for my other show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. And yeah, the video's pretty good though, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody saw it already, so that's just me saying that it's pretty awesome and excellent. So that's just me right there, man. And I want to make some noise for this shit too, man. Let's make some noise, man. All right, up next is yes. Um yes, up next we gotta talk about the Tupac and Afeni Shakur docu-series that's coming out real soon. Yeah, we're talking about that right now. So, and this is according to Hip Hop DX. All right, Tupac's Dear Mama often sees a boost in popularity around Mother's Day, but fans of the late rap icon were treated to an extra dose of nostalgia on Sunday, May 8th, when FX unveiled the first teaser for Dear Mama. Um, their upcoming docu-series about Tupac Shakur and his mother Afani. The 47-second video features an audio clip of Afeni Shakur, a Black Panther activist who passed away in 2016, recalling one of the many valuable lessons she instilled in her son when he was growing up, which involved encouraging him to stay informed on what's happening in the world and stand behind his opinions. It was my responsibility to teach Tupac to survive his reality, she says. So Tupac do something wrong. Um, take his little sorry self in that corner. Get the New York Times and let's have a debate about it. Not a discussion, a debate. Let me hear what your idea is. Stand up, defend it. A five-part documentary series, Dear Mama, is told through the eyes of the people who knew them best, according to FX. An intimate, wide angle portrait of the most inspiring and dangerous mother son duo in American history, whose unified message of freedom, equality, persecution, and justice are more relevant today than ever. The series is directed by Alan Hughes, who's best known for creating Menace to Society, Dead Presidents, and The Book of Eli as one half of the Hughes brothers alongside his brother Albert. Hughes' solo work includes the 2017 docuseries The Defiant Ones, which examined Dr. Dre and Iovine's prolific partnership in music and business. Originally announced in 2019 under the name Outlaw, the saga of Afani and Tupac Shakur Dear Mama is set to premiere on FX this fall and will stream on Hulu the following day. In February, it was announced a biopic on Afani Shakur called Peace, Love, and Respect. The Afani Shakur Panther 21 story is also in the works. The film spans a 2-year period from April 1969 when Afeni and 20 other Black Panthers were arrested and charged with conspiracy to bomb New York City police stations to Tupac's birth in June 1971. Yeah, I'm not too sure, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's not something I would do. Um. Anyway. Anyway. Wait. Did I talk about? Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did I talk about? Yeah, I think I may have talked about suicidal thoughts already. All right, so let's go to Western Beef. Obviously, not one of the well-known stores with commercials and stuff like that, which is on Farmers Boulevard, by the way. And there's one that's about to open in August near my job of Big Lots. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what date exactly. So let's get it on to the New York Post website. Family beef is sizzling over the future of the iconic New York grocery store chain Western Beef, the affordable supermarket brand with a senti- sentient cactus mascot. His name is Charlie. The meat, as cheap as it looks, could soon become tartare. In 2020, the founder of Western Beef, Peter Castellanos Sr., died from COVID-19. During his life, he was charged and found guilty of many mob-related crimes, among them selling adulterated meat, defrauding the government in a stolen food stamp scheme, committing bankruptcy fraud, lying to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and extortion, according to Curbed. Damn, man, that's crazy. Now his grandson Peter III, who was until recently Western Beef CEO, is attempting to take the company in a new direction. He hopes to cash in on skyrocketing land prices in the boroughs by raising his family stores and developing luxury residential buildings in their place. He shuttered 7 Western Beef stores to build projects like the Astor in Long Island City, where rent is roughly on $5,000 per month for a two bedroom unit. In the Bronx, he teamed up with a developer to create a 9-story, 159 mixed unit development. I had a business plan, all the numbers worked out, he told Curb. I had some of the best economical minds available to me, but his father and Western Beef Board chairman, Peter Jr., who grew up in the family business, building it into a $300 million chain with 20 stores and 2 million square feet of real estate in the New York area, has a bone to pick with his son. I just want to get our business back, Peter Jr. told the magazine. This is my baby. This is what I live for. He has since relieved his son of his position and halted the redevelopment projects. Um, they offered us big money for the real estate. Peter Jr. said of a Western Beef near the Marcy projects, they wanted to put huge condominiums over there like they're doing in the whole area. He's not having it. But Peter the younger isn't done staking out his territory. He since launched a real estate firm dubbed Cactus Assert Management that manages more than 25 mixed-use developments and Western Beef properties. He plans to target Western Beef stores and other businesses in areas like Cara Gardens and the Bronx for redevelopment going forward. So what's next? We're hoping for Western Beef branded residences. So now I don't. Well, let's see. Yeah, remains to be seen, man, for Western Beef. So there you go, right there. Let's see. Let's see. Our next up next is um yeah, I already talked. I think I talked about the suicide thoughts already. So I may not have to do that again. I'll have to check. So anyway, let's get into some things to do for the weekend, shall we? Of course, everyone in New York, are you looking for something fun to do? I got the places where you can actually check out though. So here we go. So this is from May 20th to the 22nd. So Friday, May 20th, National Pizza Party Day at Carol Place in um Inslee in honor of National Pizza Party Day. Greenwich Village, Carol Place, and Brooklyn Ainsley will serve complimentary wood-fired pizzas at the bar in a variety tasty flavors, including margarita, um bos bosca sciola topped with pancetta and mushrooms and truffle oil. We know your mouth is already watering. Yeah, you can tell it's already watering, and I kind of know what it's like. So this is why I have this. All right, so it starts from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and from 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. at Carroll Place, Tuesday to Friday, 157 157 Bleecker Street, and Ainsley, um, Monday through Friday, 76 Ainsley Street. Movies under the stars, the Mitchell, the Mitchells versus the Machines, ready for a feel-good night with friends and family. Head over to the park for a screening of the Oscar-nominated film The Mitchells versus the Machines. Grab a blanket and some snacks and come out to this fun night. This event is free to the public, starts at 8 p.m. Athletic Field in Peters Field and located at East 21st Street, Gramercy Park. I suggest you look up the subway train lines that goes to these locations before you decide to go. Our next one is Queendom. Ready for a night of pure gay comedy. Queendom is hosting a night of fun featuring Tessa Scara, High Maintenance, Danny Suggs, Broadway Comedy Club, David Perez, UCB, Jonathan Thomas, Broadway Comedy Club, and Win LaRue, Broadway Comedy Club. The show is free, but donations will be accepted to benefit the Clinic Access Support Network. And it starts at 7 p.m. Pete's Candy Store, located at 709 Lorimer Street in Brooklyn. Saturday, BKCM's Open Stages, Brooklyn Conservatory of Music's annual Open Stages program is back this weekend and better than ever. Over 200 musicians will play throughout the day on stoops, school lots, parks, gardens, and sidewalks, covering a variety of genres. It's free to come and listen, but all proceeds raised from the event will help support BKCM's community programs from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. BKCM is okay. The location is 58 7th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, right of Summer Music Festival. Governor's Island is kicking off its annual Right of Summer Music Festival this weekend with an option show at 1 p.m. Piano Setet, um, Grand Grand Band will perform New York Keys, featuring works of four New York composers. They will also perform the show again at 3 p.m. If you can't make it to the early show, the show is free in Nolan Park, but you should get there early to get a good seat. Um, the Texas Chili Cook-Off 2022 New York chapter, hosted by the Texas X's New York chapter. The Texas Chili Cook-Off is a 5-hour event where amateur and restaurant teams for the titles of chili and um queso champions. Want to know who is truly the best of the best? You can of try some of the food from these competitors. The tickets are 60 no, excuse me, the tickets are $70 for adults and $15 for those aged 11 to 20 years old. And free for kids 10 and under. Starts at 1 p.m. to 10 no, excuse me, 6 p.m. So the industry city is located at 220 36th Street in Brooklyn, New York. And finally, Sunday, May 22nd, Family Fun Fest at Atlantic Terminal. Ready for a day of family fun. Atlantic Terminal Mall and Brooklyn Bridge parents are partnering up to host a family fun fest. Come by and enjoy fun activities from local community partners and Atlantic Terminal retailers, including arts and crafts, a bouncy castle, dance classes, bike riding lessons, giveaways, so much more. This event is free to the public due to is free to the public. Rain date is May 28th. This is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Atlantic Terminal Mall, located at 139 Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. And lastly, Smorgasburg Prospect Park. Feeling hungry? Treat yourself this weekend to a variety of different foods from local vendors at Smorgasburg. This beloved food festival has a range of cuisines from local food purveyors that you'll find yourself seeking out in your day-to-day life. And this starts from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Prospect Park's Breeze Hill near the Lincoln Road, Brooklyn. I suggest you look up the, the subway train lines that goes to these locations in Brooklyn and Manhattan and whatnot. So there you go right there. Um let me see, what else can we talk about here? Um yeah, so that's 8 places for to do. Um and I think that's gonna be it for hold on a second. I think that's gonna be it for this show right here. Episode 149, titled Street Easy. Um Hang on a second here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Yeah, that's gonna be a wrap for this episode right here, man. You like what you heard in today's episode or any previous episodes whatsoever, please feel free to make a charitable donation to my Cash App so you could be so you can show some love with any amount of money will be appreciated. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank, it's all about doing the best you can. And the Cash App is $ G Money Stacks 555. That's $ capital G lowercase MONEY capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555, and of course, there you go, right there. Now, I'm going to go to the last segment for tonight. This last segment of the night has to do with where you can actually get to the thing right here. So there you go, right there. Okay, this is going to be stream choices on the go. There you go. Of course, make sure you follow me on the other social media platform, which is 17 Live at G Money Stacks Queens, New York. And of course, you have Facebook and Instagram, where you can follow the show Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast, alongside with my other shows, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, and alongside with my primary handle on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Make sure you turn on your notifications for updates and when I'm going to be on Instagram Live next time, and live streaming on YouTube as well. And by the way, you're gonna see the link in the bio where it says Linktree / G Money Stacks 555. I added something where you can actually leave a voice message if you have any questions, any topic ideas, your thoughts on the topics that was discussed today, and on the other good stuff. And yeah. So when you go to the link in bar and it says the name of the show, you're gonna click on there and you're gonna see the word message on there. You're gonna tap on there and then you're gonna leave your voice message on there if you have any questions, any other stuff whatsoever. So there you go, right there. And speaking of Anchor, this is where you could listen to the New York podcast episodes right here, which is Anchor, Audacity, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM, Podcast Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating on Podchaser, Podfriend, and Spotify. And leave a review. I would appreciate if you left a review with your thoughts and talks on the topics and everything that was discussed in this episode and previous episodes whatsoever. So there you go, right there. You can also listen to Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast on Radio Public. You can also listen on iHeartRadio, the #1 app for music, radio, and podcasts. That's where you can find my other shows, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show, and the other one, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Review show is also on there. Make sure you follow those shows on there. And last but not least, the YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button and tap that noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes on the air via live stream, and set your reminder of when it's going to be live streaming on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, which is the page I'm using, where you can see all the episodes that's already uploaded and posted to the YouTube channel page. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Download these episodes. Very important. Download these episodes. Share the episodes. Share the videos. And of course, make sure you tell a friend to another friend. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics. And share the podcast along with the link that says linktree/G Money Stacks 555 with all the audio streaming platforms that I just mentioned. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe to the audio streaming platforms where the podcast episodes are going to be featured on that I just mentioned just now. Share it with your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, friends, people you are cool with from work. You know all that. You know all the jazz shit. So anyway, man. Um, Thank you very much for listening, tuning in, and rocking with me on episode 149 titled Street Easy. I hope you learned something from today's episode, and I hope you know what Street Easy is about. I just informed you, and there's gonna be more new topics, more amazing fucking episodes to go. So I will see y'all in the next episode. Please be safe out there. Take care of one another. And remember, the grind does not stop. You can't rush the process, especially when you create a podcast and all that other stuff. And of course, make sure you listen, stream, download, watch the episodes, share the episodes, and that's it. So, and also follow your dreams and do what makes you happy. Don't worry about validation from networks and stuff. You don't necessarily need it. For those of you that started a podcast already, you don't necessarily need it per se. It's not really fucking mandatory to record a podcast in a studio. I'm not using a studio because of the fact that it's so expensive. It's so expensive. I don't have a lot of money to do all that. I have to worry about other things, especially two bills and a bus fare that I have to worry about. So I can't really say I'm going to be committed into using a studio to do all that. So you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, man. And what's up, Notagami? I can't wait to have her back on this platform right here to discuss the EP because I'm going to be reviewing her music EP that's out right now on Spotify, YouTube Music, and other music platforms whatsoever for my other show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. So I would like to actually have her, elaborate on the stories behind these songs because I'm not Latino. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Latino, so I kind of got you right there, man. Yeah, man. I know you're excited though, man. I'm gonna set something up for next week. So you know what I'm saying? I got you. I got you. I got you. Um, yeah, man. So that's gonna really do it. That's gonna do it for me. G Money Stacks is signing off right now, man. Hope you had a blast today, and I will see you next time in the next episode. And be careful out there. Take care of one another. Um, be there for one another, especially if they're down on having a bad day on anything whatsoever. And keep them company. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So there you go, right there, man. Peace and one love, and have yourselves a good night, folks.